a minute or two. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for growth. I'm excited for new challenges, possibilities, all of these wonderful things. So I'm looking forward to see who is going to meet me here tonight on this live broadcast. We're going to be here for about 45 minutes. So my invitation to you on the other side, guest, partner, come inside. Make sure you put your seatbelt on. Click your seatbelt. Turn your distractions down. And let's get into the PNGZ zone here for just a little while. Just a little bit. So this is your hour of power, friend. I welcome you on the guest. As a guest, as a partner, I welcome you. We have a growth podcast tonight here for a little bit. We're going to be here 35, 40 minutes. It's going to go by very quick. It's going to be a growth podcast. I'm calling this APTN. All right. APTN. Ask, participate, take notes. I'm your host, Coach Santos out of Stockton, California. I'm not sure that Coach Jim is going to be with us tonight. That's fine. We're going to go through 30 minutes. And my goal tonight, I have a proverb to share with you. I have some good insight, some good energy, and I definitely want to focus on what it is that you got on your mind here tonight. I want to support you in winning your freedom. I want to support you in breaking that cycle of behavior that you want to get away from as fast as possible, permanently. Is that you on the other side? I welcome you, guest, partner. Number one, podcast number 220. We do have a proverb. I'm going to be sharing that in a minute here. Let me see if anybody's joined in. I want to make sure I get your no questions. Okay. So we'll be here about 30 minutes, folks. If you're an addicted gambler and you have issues with gambling, whatever it might be, I don't know what kind of gambling you might have. You might have some special kind of gambling that you've got going on in your life that nobody knows about. You're at the right place at the right time. If you want to replace your behavior, if you want to replace your addiction, you're at the right place at the right time. All right, I said my piece. I'm just going to wait here. Actually, I'm going to read today's proverb because it's going to go by quick. Today's proverb. What is today's proverb? Today's proverb comes out of Romans chapter 12. It says, be therefore renewed by your mind, by the thoughts. Be renewed. Let your mind be renewed, right? Not conform to this world, the lies and the cheats and all of these gamey things that are like dripping with stickiness, like sugary. They're attractive, but once you get your hands on these things, it's like, man, it's like sticky glue, like that fly trap stuff. You can't get away from it. Well, there is a way to get away from it. You got to want it. And I'm here to support you, friend, on the other side. So please, if you have a question, you have a concern, you have a thought, maybe you have an owie, maybe you fell down and you scraped your knee, spiritually speaking. We do that all the time, right? We fall down and we scrape our ego. So we're talking about growth podcast tonight. Ask, participate, take notes. This is number 220. Let's talk about how your mind is supporting or decaying. Let's talk about how your mind is either supporting you or decaying you. How's it doing that? How's your mind supporting you? Or how's it decaying you? Is it the mind by itself? It's not the mind by itself. The mind is just like a conduit where things flow. Some things flow right through it. Like I've heard somebody said, there's nothing inside. It's just one ear on the left and one ear on the right. There's nothing inside there. So everything just flows right through like a river. like water, right? Man, I want that river to stop inside my head. I need it to stop and something needs to happen. I need some change inside my. I can't have it like a river flowing from one ear to the other. We have to exercise the brain, right? You have to exercise the brain. And unfortunately, most people today, their brain is not working. I got a live, let me see, I got a chat here. Welcome, shout out to the legend. Thank you, I appreciate that. City by the Bay. And there's Jim. Coach Jim is with us. Yeah, Coach Jim is there. Let me see. Um, I don't know if he plans on joining by camera. But anyways, we're going to be here for a short time. Listen, folks, I'm excited about what future holds for me. I'm excited because I don't gamble. I'm excited because I've defeated it. And I'm excited because I know 100% I can share others. I can show others how to win every day, how to win in the mind, how to win over gambling, how to win over the craps, right? First, it started out with craps for me. It was dice. It was dice. I admit it was dice. It was dice. And that escalated into other things, the roulette, a little bit of the roulette, a little bit of the roulette table. And then eventually I found my way to the slot machines. I started out on the dollars. And that was my trajectory back then on that path of 32 years, where nearly decapitated myself. I more or less almost decapitated myself, not just physically, but also spiritually and morally. I was bankrupt, folks. And not only bankrupt financially, but I was bankrupt inside of my head. I didn't know this. I had no real idea. It wasn't until I started really looking at myself. And in fact, the reality was that when I became certified as a life coach, when I went through my school, my boot camp, that was about 2 years, 3 years ago, actually, maybe a little bit longer. No, yeah, about 3 years ago. I really began to see something about myself. I started noticing things. I didn't I didn't have this before. I didn't have you ever, man, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to be able to begin noticing things about yourself. I don't know if you're experiencing this. I don't know if you've experienced this, but it's a wonderful thing when you realize you start noticing things about yourself. And tonight's episode, we're talking about APTN. We're talking about APTN. We're talking about your mind. Is your mind working with you? Is your mind working with you? Or does it feel like your mind is just one big cluster ball? Does it feel like it's just a one big cluster ball? I had a friend of mine that was, we were going to do some business together, and it kind of reminds me of how our brain is. So he came up with this thing called Bali. It's a ball. Has a lot of technology built into it. It's for animals, for cats in particular. So the thing rolls around and it moves by itself. If the cat stops playing with it, it'll stop. But the ball, and it's like cats love that. They just love things that move around, and especially when they're young cats. Your brain is like that ball. It's just moving around, and it just has like its own mind sometimes. And you have to. There was a program, a movie one time called Mr. Gadget. Mr. Gadget. You have to picture in your mind like robotic arms, or to reach out and just grab that brain and bring it back, right? They have these special things today where doctors can get behind his booth and they can operate on people through this robotics and these arms and little tentacle things with cameras and stuff and little pinchers. We need to find that. You need to find that in your life, and you need to begin reprogramming that so that it helps your mind support you. Easily break the gambling habit, like if it was just um, a dried up branch, a really dried up branch. Imagine having the ease to be able to break gambling like if it was a branch, like a real dried up branch, and you just snap it in half and break it. Your challenge is to find that. See, I know what you're thinking right now. You're probably thinking a bunch of negative thoughts because that's how your mind works. So you must master over these things that are happening. That's why I'm calling this the Growth Podcast tonight. Ask, participate, take notes. APTN. And I'm believing for you on the other side to get something out of this podcast tonight so that you can start your day tomorrow. Actually, you can start your night tonight. You can start your victory tonight. You can start rejoicing tonight. Before you go to bed, you can start saying, you know what, man, I'm going to work this thing. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I didn't make it the last time, but I'm feeling it this time. And I know I'm going to go further this time. And the further you go, the better you're going to get, right? It's little by little. Maybe you did it for a week. Now you're going to go for 2 weeks, and then or 4 weeks, and then you'll do 6 weeks and 8 weeks, and then you'll do 12 and 14, and you'll just keep going on and building on top of that and building and building. Next you know, you're so far ahead of yourself, you're not even thinking about that stuff back there anymore. That's reality. All right, let me see what you guys got. I'm focusing on your questions. Let me see. We have a few. Jim says it's time. Jim West, hi. Laura says hi. Inspector Gadget, Draw Claw, Penny. There we go. You know, you're thinking there. I feel like my mind does its own thing less so these days. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The more you hang around here, the better your mind's going to get. I guarantee you that. Laura says, I sure had a great gamble-free week. There we go. Good feelings. Yep. Mark says, I'm here. Santos. Oh, great one. The great one's above, my friend. We're all together. We're all on a level playing field running. Some of us are kicking. Some of us are sprinting. Some of us are crawling on the ground, right? I remember when I was crawling on the ground, that's all I could do was crawl. Well, if that's all you can do, just crawl. But crawl, man. Crawl, crawl, crawl. It sounds like a karate expert, huh? Crawl, crawl. Chop, chop, chop. You got to have fun with yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to enjoy yourself. And if you're not doing that, my friend, you're missing out in life. Yes, we're going to be sad at times. Yes, we're going to lose. I remember one time I wired this guy $12,000 and I lost it. I went back to the bank and I almost cried. No, I didn't cry. I took it like a man. I made a major mistake. I got involved in business with the wrong person, and I trusted this guy, and I wired him like 12. Actually, I wired him about $8,000, $9,000. And when you wire something to another bank, your eggs are cooked if you don't like them raw. You're done. You're done. Especially if you got involved. Man, but I learned, right? I remember my family says, man, you're always failing at business. I remember when I started getting away from gambling, that's what I was looking for, an opportunity. You know, I worked hard. I didn't want to work so hard. I was looking for an opportunity. And through my ignorance and through my innocence, man, people were taking advantage of me, man. Yeah, I'll get them for 3,000. I'll get them for 2. I'll get them for 12. Now, maybe they weren't thinking that way, but it happened to go that way. And I've learned some very, very valuable lessons in life about business and about gambling. How to crush gambling and keep it under your feet where it belongs. So it's a beautiful life. I'm going to share with you here in a minute towards the end of the broadcast what you can start doing immediately. Of course, if you're not soldier scribed to this channel, you need to be soldier scribed, and you need to turn your notifications to all so that you can get the most out of what I'm putting out there. That's if you want to truly become successful. And that includes wealth, because if your mind is healed and And I'm not talking about 100%. You ain't gonna have no 100% mind healed, but when you've got healing going on, it 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 flows like in the other areas. Sometimes I feel like I'm crawling through webs, like spider webs, right? But I also feel like I'm building spider webs because I'm throwing some good stuff out there, and it's building, and eventually things are going to catch in that web that I need in my life and others. So I can be a great support as long as I'm strong and healthy. It's not about being selfish. It's about doing things for others. Listen, I may not have all the rewards that I want, but I'm planting seed. I'm planting seed. And I'll tell you one thing about me is if you hang around long enough, you can know who I am. Right? You can know that I'm a real person out there. I'm a real life coach. I'm a real business licensed person. There's a lot of fakes out there, folks. There's a lot of fakes. They will, they will, like they say in Spanish, te limpian el coco, amigo. Oh, they're good to get into your head, and next thing you know, they've got you somewhere in a position where, man, what in the world? How did I get here? Gambling's one of them. Yep. Let me see who's same here. Gambling is just horrible. I couldn't go back. That's why I put an end to it, folks. It's as simple as that. You're looking at an individual that said enough is enough, and I'm going all the way. I don't I'm like surprised that I have this strength and energy that I do. I really am. But it shouldn't surprise me because I do a lot of self mastery all the time. All the time. That's like maybe an addiction. It could be self mastery, reading books, and all kinds of stuff. They can believe me. Well, man, I'd rather be. Yeah, I know I'd rather be addicted to self mastery, but you got to have a balance in your life also because that self mastery can cause you to blow up and think that you're better than everybody else. And oh boy, watch out for that one. You will fall on your face just as fast if you tripped on a banana peel and didn't see it, and you actually did. You'll fall. You'll fall. Guard your heart and your mind. So let me see. Some messages, such as potential spam, may not be visible. Okay, that's fine. I understand that. Thank you for blocking. I'm glad I can tune in. Great wisdom. I'm glad that you can tune in, Leslie. I really appreciate you, Leslie. I appreciate you. And I hope that you begin appreciating yourself because gamblers don't appreciate themselves. Gamblers are so darkened inside that they don't care about themselves. And my friend, when you begin to look inside, when you begin to recognize what's going on in your head, you begin to develop a gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, a Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, they talk about the winning attitude. Attitude is everything. Well, attitude is not everything, but it could be right now for you to begin changing your attitude. That's going to begin changing your behavior. Maybe that's all you should be focusing on, right? Simplify your life, my friend. Focus on essentials, right? Why is my mind go? It's too complicated. Simplify your life. If you're taking notes, you should write this down. Simplify my life. Okay, how do I don't know how you're going to simplify. I don't know. You got to figure that out. Let that be a wonderful challenge for you. How am I going to simplify my life? What are the benefits of simplifying your life? Right? So you can beware the FT, the FB, the wrong labeling, the wrong labeling, and the defeat of self talk. Man, that one brings people down like blindness in a bad way. Self defeating talk. Self defeating talk. I didn't know what that was. I remember listening to a video. It's about an hour or 2 hours long. And I remember listening to that video several times. It's a boring video, I'll admit. But man, the wisdom that I got out of that video about self talk was pretty incredible. Illuminating, it, not just illuminating, it redirected my life. It's redirecting my life, what I learned from that one video. I watched that video numerous times. In fact, I go back and I leave comments because I appreciate people that support me. I have a lot of digital coaches on the internet I go to every once in a while. So this lady that posted this, I remember posting a couple years ago, I posted on her channel and she responded to me. So I posted again. There's about 3 or 4 comments over the years since watching that video. And folks, if you want to live a victorious life, if you want to live a life of peace, a life of happiness through the midst of the turmoil, because the bottom's falling out. It is. It's falling out. The bottom's falling out. You can do that. Redirect your thoughts. Redirect your conscience. How do you do that? Take notes on a program like this. Simple. Take notes. You got 15, 20 minutes, 18 minutes a day. If you train 18 minutes a day, you will become a master in 6 months. You will become a master in 3 months. 18 minutes a day. Reading, writing, journaling, self-talk, video therapy. Maybe you do karaoke. I do karaoke. I sing like the pigeons sometimes. Sometimes I sing pretty good. Doobie Brothers, Leonard Skinner. Who's the other one? I did Celine Dion the other day. Time will go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I'll know that your heart goes. Anyways, I'm not here to sing no karaoke. Don't get me started now. All right, we're going to be getting off here pretty soon, man. I'm excited to be here. I can go on and on. Folks, I hope you're getting something. This is a live podcast. This is a growth podcast tonight. Growth, what I mean, participate, take notes, and apply, right? What did I say? Ask, participate, take notes. APTN. Ask, participate, take notes. That's the only way we're going to grow. That's the only way that we're going to become better. That's the only way you're going to be able to defeat those things in your life that are just like horrors. Maybe you lay up in bed at night. I see the comments coming. I'm going to get to them here. Maybe you lay in bed at night and you just think about these things that you're going through, just wishing for some miracle, something to give you hope, something to give you the edge, something that will help you get over the other side. Just man, I feel like I'm there. I'm just Santos. I feel like I'm there. Oh man, help me get over. Find that next code in the sequence of numbers, right? We're like doing the secret code stuff, trying to get into the vault of the mind. And man, I think I got it. I got like 3 numbers. You need 5. I got like 3 numbers, man. Oh man, I hit the 4th. And then all you need is that 5. You get that 5 number and you'll find it. You will find it. Play the game. Exercise your faith. That's somebody called me delirious, and maybe I am delirious. You know what I mean? I'd rather be delirious with childlike faith that's getting me somewhere than delirious, a fool, just doing nothing, scared, hiding in a cave, and all I want to do is just gamble or do the. Can I say I'm gambling? I gamble every day. But if you're going to gamble, you better be aware of what it is that you're getting into. Unlike a casino, you don't know what you're getting into. You can study all you want. That's not a good gamble. There are gambles, right? You should take a good gamble as long as you've done your homework, you've done your due diligence, you've investigated, right? You've done it. Now proceed forward with caution, because nothing in life is guaranteed. Nothing in life is guaranteed except what it is that you put forth with your hands, with your mind, and with your mouth. All right, I gotta get back to let me see here. I nearly burnt my house down cooking a chicken sub while watching a baseball game for a bet. Yeah. I still get the odd urge like all gamblers, but have to remind myself how bad it was. Exactly. Yup. Let me see who else. I actually thought I could control myself and started going back, but that's the thing. What happens? Let me see. Jim says, how do you discern a big deal, something that is not a big deal? We have to be very careful what we dismiss and what we take seriously. We have to do our due diligence, Jim. There's so much deception out there that you have to know. You have to cut through the fluff. That's the thing that I've learned about business and about gambling and all of these things that I've gone through. I've learned to cut through the fluff. I know what to look for, right? You got to know what to look for. If you're going to go out and buy a car, you're going to buy a house, you better know what to look for. You better be prepared. If you're going to jump into a business, you're going to develop a business, or you're going to jump into a business that's existing, you better do your homework. There's a lot of opportunities out there there's a lot of opportunities right now that are disrupting the systems that are going on in the world. And we're over here we're caught up with this gambling thing, losing all our money when we could be opening our eyes to opportunities that are right in front of us, making a better challenge, making better income, and having a better outcome in life. But instead, we've been distracted. Your mind has been distracted by some of the greatest focus thieves, man. Those focus thieves out there, they're strong, they're fast, they're witty, they've got a lot of money. And what else? They're very personable. They know how to get into those secret compartments that you should be holding sacred. They know how to get into those secret compartments that you should be holding sacred, and not to let anybody in there except the data that you want in there. Do I sound delirious? I may sound delirious. Ted, if you're watching me, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, yes, I'm delirious, Ted. But I think you're delirious because you won't even show your face on the internet. You hide. So, Ted, wherever you are, you need to disclose yourself. Quit hiding behind an avatar. People got a nerve to talk about me, right? They do, but yet they're hiding behind an avatar. Life is funny. I'm enjoying life. I love the challenge. All right, let me see what else you guys got. We're coming down to the wire here, folks. 30 minutes into this program. I'm looking for a question. I'm looking for something. I don't care. Challenge me. Ask me anything. Whatever. I know I shouldn't. I only took a couple sips of the Red Bull, and don't bust my chops on this. I know I'm slowing down on these. I'm slowing down on a lot of stuff. All right, let's see what Jim has here. So make sure you got a fire extinguisher in the house, right? That's a good idea. Carry a fire extinguisher in your car, in the trunk, and one in your house. Put one in the laundry room. Get yourself a nice fire extinguisher. They're about 15 bucks, maybe 25 now. They've gone up in price. All right, what else do we got here? Let me see. It's better to surrender to God in the Bible. God seems to be a better anchor than anything else. Correct, 100%. To pull people in better direction. What else is there? My anchor is God. I believe that my anchor is God. Um, I believe that. I believe that I am who I am because of God. I believe that I have the energy that I have because of God. I believe that I have the wisdom and the intellect that I have because of God. But I've done the work, right? I've done the work. But because of God's grace, I've done the work. And people want stuff, but they're not willing to do the work. You want freedom. Like freedom, they say freedom isn't free. The word free, you got to do something. All right, let me see what else is going on here. Mark, I like the monster drink. Leslie Chung says, how do you cope with your past? Thank you for asking. With my past, I learned from it. I embrace my past. There's a lot of things that have been really evil and wicked in my past, but there's a lot of great lessons to learn from those things. It's amazing when you take a stroll down memory lane, like they say, hindsight is 20/20. Well, it is. You can see very well when you begin to look back, and especially if you look back there frequently to learn. To learn, you see things. The more you look back, you just see more. Right? Does that make sense? It makes sense. The more you look at something, the more you're going to find, like whatever it might be. You know, you look at a rock, it's got little pieces of metal and stone and whatever. You'll find all kinds of little ingredients in that if you look hard enough and then you break it down. So, boy, I just lost my train of thought there for a moment, but it'll come back to me. All right, we were talking about let me see, we were answering the question here about the coping with the past. Yeah. So I find that I don't let my mind go back at certain moments, right? There's times where your mind wants to go back. You don't, no, you don't, right? You got to pull out the handyman, Mr. Gadget, long extension arm claw thing and grab your past and say, no, I'm not going back there. Right now is not the time for it. The time for going back into your past is when you have a notebook and you're relaxed and you want to learn something. Okay, why am I doing what I'm doing today? Where did that come from? That goes back. There was a seed planted somewhere. So what happens when you begin to understand how it happened? What happens? It it serves you, right? It's not going to fix your world, but it serves you. It feeds you knowledge, data. I had to pause for a moment there. Let me see if I'm back. I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Almost. I'm frozen. Yep. I just lost. I just lost an inheritance. What does it say there? Okay. Almost lost track there for a minute. All right. So I lost a lot of my inheritance. So Leslie, what I would recommend if you're dealing with the past, you're dealing with a lot of thoughts. Again, it's mind control. You have to believe that it's possible. You must believe that it's possible for you to control your mind in order to do that. Number one, you must believe. You have to believe. You have to, if you got to tell yourself, tell yourself, I do believe, and keep telling yourself until your real self begins to realize that, you know what? Wow, I do believe. When your real self begins to realize that you truly care, your real self is going to begin to rise up to the occasion. But if you treat yourself, the real self, like you ignore that inner feeling, if you ignore those thoughts inside you, every once in a while we're thinking, we get a thought like, and you might think, well, what was that thought for? You had a thought, maybe you didn't really, maybe you thought about it, but how could that thought help you, supported you? Maybe you could have written it down somewhere. But the more we realize these things that are happening, the better off we're going to be on a daily basis. Because again, folks, the reality is that tomorrow's not here yet. So we're battling today, right? We're still going to fight today. There's still another couple hours before this goes over. So today we're fighters. Today I am a fighter. I am. I am. I get, I know I get going and I get really excited. Yep, it's a trap. So changing mindset is key. So Leslie, I would recommend getting a journal, getting a journal and keeping some notes for yourself. Keep track. People say, well, why would I want to keep track of my life? Think about the benefits of that. If you kept a log of your life, at least you don't have to write in it every day, but if you kept a log of your life at least every couple of days, you could go back into yesterday or the week before and you can look at things and you can help yourself grow almost magically. What do you mean magically? Well, doesn't time grow? Yeah, time grows us, but you can also grow yourself in your mind. You can quantum leap inside of your mind. I mean, there's people that I know, there's people out there, I've met a few of them that said, I'm going to stop smoking today, and today's the end of my smoking, and they stopped. Cold turkey, period. They never went back. I know another person that stopped drinking the same way. He didn't go through no withdrawals. Not really. Just drinking for many years, and all of a sudden said, I'm done. Kind of tapered off a little bit. Who was that? Me. I used to drink a lot. Bacardi, rum, 151, Budweiser, Coronas. One of my favorites was that German beer. It was a green beer, Heineken. Started drinking probably when I was about 8 years of age. I ended up in the psychiatric ward one day when I was in the military. I was 21 years of age. The doctor said, Rolon, you need to stop drinking. You're going to screw your liver up. You're going to get cirrhosis of the liver. I was 21 years old, and I had doctors telling me that. 22 maybe. All right, we'll come to the end of the broadcast, and once again, I really appreciate all of you guys. I thank you for being a part of this. I'm going to look for one more question, but here's, again, simplify your life, folks. Listen to that. Don't you want your life simplified? Now, does that mean that it's going to be easy to do that? I don't know about you. Simplify, right? The Marines say semplify. I say simplify. That's going to help you with your mindset. The journal. Of course, I talk about many tools. The Little Red Book. The Little Red Book is going to be in audio. The new one. It's going to be in audio and a hardcover. I'm looking forward to that. I want to get it out to one or two of you guys that have been contributing, supporting this mission with your donations. And by the way, keep the number 23 in mind if you want to support this mission financially. You want to support this. It doesn't come to me. It doesn't go in my pocket. It goes, you donate to me, whether it's 50, 100, or whether it's $2. It comes to me and it goes right out. It comes to me and it goes right out. That's what it does. And so my call to action is, number one, keep a curious eye on yourself. Be curious, folks. There's nothing better than being curious with yourself, and be curious about others too. All right? Be curious. You're an interesting person. You know, when you look inside yourself, I don't know how much rusty parts you have inside yourself, but you can dig some of that up and polish it off and reuse it. It might be a little bit rusty parts inside you, but I can tell you for a fact, guaranteed, that if you dig them up and scrape off some of that, maybe pour some Coca-Cola on it, clean it up, repaint it, sand it, put some primer, I'm telling you, you're going to have a good gift to use today, tomorrow for your victory. All right. Keep a curious eye out for defective talk. Keep a curious eye out for defective talk. Yours and mine. If I'm being defective towards you and I'm putting you down and I'm labeling you and I'm throwing, like spears. I remember King David. King David and King Saul in the Bible, they had a good relationship in the book of Samuel, I believe. King David eventually he rose up to the kingship. Saul, he was jealous. He saw God's hand, so he threw spears at him. And David he missed the javelins. He got on the wall and stuff. So defective talk are like those javelins. They will pin you to the wall. They will pin you. So convert that immediately. Okay. Keep an eye out. Be curious. Be curious. Be curious, and then keep an eye out for self-defective talk. Convert it immediately. That's what I have for you guys. I'm going to begin applying some more of this tonight. Again, prepare for tomorrow. Prepare to generate more income. Prepare to generate more peace. And we need more income. Prepare to generate more faith and more belief in oneself so that you can be a supporting ally to others around you. I didn't see Nancy. No, I didn't see Nancy on the broadcast. Okay, let me see who else is here. 11:30 p.m. Thank you, Ken Smith. Good night and stay blessed, everybody. Laura sends 2 little images there. Well, I had to do something quick. It's unreal how fast you can go down. It'll blow you up. Back to basics. Yup, simply. It's like losing weight, looking in the mirror and saying, I got to that belly down, but for tonight I'll order Big McDonald's. Big juicy Big Mac. I hate those things. I used to like them at one time. Not leading anywhere good. Yep, you don't need it, Laura. Jim West. All right, let me see. Sam, welcome, Sam. We are all different gifts and talents given by God, and we should use them effectively. Shunning away from gambling. Exactly. I challenge you guys to look for your gifts. Laura says I'm one or two. One or two? 1 week, maybe. All right. Um, Folks, I thank each and every one of you guys once again. If you're not Soldier Scribed, I'm going to invite you to Soldier Scribe. Make sure you turn your notifications to all. Support this mission. We're all in this together. I'm going to do my best to help you crack this thing. If you want it, I'm going to help you. I'm going to support you to do that. And that's a fact. That's my ironclad, right? I can't guarantee it 100% because I could be gone tomorrow. But as long as I'm here, hey, you've got my support. And if you need coaching, listen, coaching, I've made it incredibly affordable for anyone. If you need a session, you need 2 sessions. Listen, take some of that tool that you're giving to the casino and use it for an investment in yourself. I'm just asking you to do yourself a little favor, right? Who knows what that 1 or 2 or 3 sessions with me will do for your mindset. And who knows if that will be the code that's broken for you. You get that 5th number when you sit with me and we sit down together and we laugh, and who knows, maybe we'll have a little tea or whatever, and we'll be able to say, yeah, you know, that thing, man. See how easy it was to do this? And you thought, man, I could have did this, 5 years ago or 2 years ago. But timing has its way of working into our lives, and victories have a way of working into our lives if we work the victory. When you work the victory, let's work the victory together. I promise to be here. I'm not going to say I'm going to be here Tuesday or Thursday. It may be here Tuesday or Thursday, but I will be here on Sunday. I will be here on Sunday. Hopefully you will be too. All right. Dr. Santos. Well, I'm not certified as a doctor, but I consider myself a doctor. Good to see you here. Abstinence over the long term. You can't go back to the pit. It's too devastating to self. You can't. That's right. In fact, Jim, the reality is that we even have to change the way we talk. Like, for instance, if we're not careful and we start thinking about, okay, we can easily say to ourselves, okay, we can't go back. We can't go back. We can't go back. Generally, we start to do things that we feel challenged with. So instead of saying, like, yeah, I'm not going to go back, I'm not going to go back, you know what? I am in the present. I live in the present. I think in the present. I live for my future. I learn from the past. All right, my friends, that's it. That's all I have. Got to take a sip of my little bit dry here. And it is raining out here in California. Beautifully raining. A little bit, a little bit. You guys don't know how blessed I am right now. Just sitting here with severe pain in my back. Severe pain. Probably at a level 9. Yes, I'm going to the doctor's tomorrow. I'm going to get 2 cortisone shots in my back. I can't take the pain anymore. And I'm not a pill popper. I've done a few of those, and every once in a while you take one of those and you feel a little kind of droopy. And so I got to take care of my back. What else we got? Jim, hey, thank you. We're going to be getting on the podcast back to studio. We're going to be getting the studio back soon. I found out why I was struggling with Wi-Fi, so I'm going to get that taken care of. Oh man, we're going to have some awesome life-changing, life-energizing podcasts coming, and we'll have other videos and stuff, and who knows, maybe we'll have some new guests come on, and have some of you guys come on the camera. You guys are hiding behind the camera too long, folks. Come on, you got to come out. That's one of the ways that I'm going to be able to help you. When you come out of that camera that you're in and come on and declare to the whole world, I'm working on freedom. Now the whole world is going to watch you. I got you, huh? Oh, Santos, you trapped me. Well, you wanted to stop, right? That's one way to get you. So, Jim, let me go again down the line here. Jim, thank you for being with us. Laura says, I take CBD. Have you tried the level laser therapy for pain? I haven't. I've been doing acupuncture for about 12, 13 weeks now. Acupuncture, it's those needles can get you. They'll poke you pretty good sometimes, but I feel that the acupuncture's been helping me a little bit. Yes, I do feel. Um, so other than the guy, the doctor, I won't say his name, he wanted to put Bengay on me, and you ask if you can get put gay. You just don't slap Bengay on somebody, right? So I'm like, I'm leaving the office and I'm not saying anything to him the first time. So that's all it was. I was nice to the guy. He's been giving me acupuncture, even though he poked me pretty hard the other day, a couple times. I'm like, I think next time I'm gonna get a woman. She's got a little softer touch. I said, no more Bengay, please. Okay. Well, I like Bengay. Well, that's you. I didn't say that, right? That's you. You like Bengay, but ask me. Yeah, I know that you're the doctor here, but ask me. I don't like Bengay. It smells up my clothes and stuff. So who knows? I might be switching doctors. But little things like people ask, ah, ask. That's all I'm asking. Does anybody understand me? Am I delirious? I probably am. Yeah, that's what happens. You stop gambling, you become delirious. Work the plan. All right, guys. Bob, Jim, Laura, Anjekal. Let me see. Was it Ken? Sam? We're all different gifts. Yes. Race. Who else was here? There was somebody else was here. There's Mark. Oh, Leslie Chung. By the way, Leslie, if you need some materials, I have some videos that I can send you. I've got a 5-step program to help people begin shifting their mind. It's free. You sign up at soldiersofselfmastery.com. You can just go to soldiersofselfmastery.com. There's some free materials in there. You can join S.I.T.E.C and get plugged in, folks. Get plugged in. And then when you don't need to be plugged in, forget about Santos, man. Go out like a bird, right? Free bird, whatever. But here's a little bit of a hospital, a healing place, if you will. The soldiers come in, they get patched up pretty good, and then they go out to the field. They go out fighting. Maybe that's what Soldiers of Self-Mastery is, like a battlefield unit. People come in, some people come in, I don't see them ever again. Get comments and stuff, but I would like to hear, obviously, a little bit more. So thank you guys. Oh, there was Barry. Did I get Barry? All right, all you guys. Wow, we've been here 48 minutes. Thank you guys. Hey, there'll be some good videos coming up. By the way, there's going to be some really good videos coming up, and that's it, folks. Get excited for growth. Get excited for the victory. The victory. But Santos, things are not going well. I understand. That's the best time to shout. Things aren't going well, right? Why? Oh, things are going well. Yeah. Woo. But things are not going well. No, when things are not going well, that's when man, it's hard, right? But you push yourself. Get that breakthrough when things are not going. So then when things are well, hey, kick back, whatever. You kick back, have a good time for a little bit because you're going to go back up. You're going to go back down into the valley, right? You go up to the mountaintop and you go right back to the valley with all the wild beasts and serpents and poisons and different types of weather and hurricanes and stuff like that. Then you go back up to the mountaintop. Feel good. Oh, down in the valley. Oh man, I almost had a near win, a near fall. All right, folks, I'll see you guys next week. All right. We got to end the program. If I can. I can't end the program. All right, guys.